Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
And wow, we just finished up one of the most exciting clashes that I have seen in years. Boys, the Daytona Road Course proved that it can be exciting. And yeah, the clash, good for Rowdy Busch, Blaney and Elliott getting together. Just it's wild again, boys. It is finally alive.
Yeah, absolutely couldn't picture a better way to get the season started. Lot of fun at the end there too. Like you kind of talked about, Ian, Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott, best friends coming together at the end there. So we had a little drama. Kyle Busch coming out and getting the win. It was just a lot of fun to watch. A lot of good racing, a lot of good drama and action all over the track. I was very, very pleasantly surprised watching the clash.
Yeah, I think what we saw here was the package that they brought this year. We did not run this package at the Daytona Road Course last season, and I think that's how we saw some strung out racing. But in this one, tires mattered, and that package put on a hell of a show at the end. It was crazy. It had to come down to old Clyde and Blaney, and then Kyle Busch out of nowhere steals the show. What an exciting race for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll dig into it in a little bit. But before we dig into everything, let's go off with our diecast of the week. Nick, what you got sitting right there next to you?
I'm gonna give you $5. Yeah, I'm gonna give you $5 to guess what I have. It's Daytona week, and this is coming up on the 10-year anniversary of old 20-year-old Trevor Bayne Daytona 500 win. Got it autographed, man. This is the race that got me into NASCAR. I mean, 11 years ago, I did not like NASCAR. I was one of those people who was like, this is pretty boring, guys going left turns. And then one day I finally sat down and watched the race with my dad. It just happened to be the 2011 Daytona 500. Rookie Trevor Bayne's second career Cup Series start, and gets a Daytona 500 win. Like Mike Joy said it best, the glass slipper fit. What a race that was. So this is 10 years since that happened, and 10 years of me being a NASCAR fan.
Yeah, man, absolutely one of the most incredible Daytona 500s that I have ever watched. And yeah, I remember at the end, because I don't really think there was anyone left that I was rooting for in that race. I was like, all right, come on, Trevor Bayne, let's do this. And yeah, I remember my dad was so psyched. Yeah, that was such a great race. And yeah, what a great memory. And yeah, 10 years of being a NASCAR fan for Nick now.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yep. All right, Mikey, what'd you bring?
All right, because I knew Nick was going to play that diecast. That took my Daytona 500 Trevor Bayne car off the table. So I went with a Christmas gift I got this year. So we've got the 24 Jeff Gordon Daytona 500 race win tribute car.
Ooh, that is nice.
Yeah, it's got pictures from all three of his Daytona 500 wins, 97, 99, and 05. So, yeah, last year, Nick's dad got me the tribute card for all of his 4 championships. Then this year, Christmas time, he got me the Daytona 500 wins. So, pretty sweet car, pretty cool one to add to the collection. I'd never really gotten a bunch of those memory collage cars before. Those are the first 2 I got, and I'm pleasantly surprised with them. They're awesome looking race cars.
Yeah, I've always liked those. I've always seen that Jim has had a few of those in his display case that he's got. So, yeah, that Gordon one is pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
They're both badass, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, boys. So for my diecast of the week, I got to go with my boy Noah Gragson, his Daytona win from last year, his first Xfinity Series win. I love this Bass Pro scheme. It is just absolutely beautiful. Probably one of my favorite paint schemes in the Xfinity Series right now. And yeah, just what a win and what a celebration with this car.
I remember even being hyped for that win. I actually bought that diecast too. That was incredible.
Hell yeah.
I was at work and I was listening to it on MRN in the back, and I was going a little crazy. Yeah, that's such a sexy looking race car, and it's going to be awesome to see it on all 33 of his cars this season. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's cool. He's got a full scheduled deal with Bass Pro, Black Rifle Coffee, and True Timber. So going to be one hell of a ride with them. And then I can't wait to see my boy hopefully make his Cup Series debut in the Daytona 500. Qualifying is tomorrow night, so he's got to be on it, man. I'm going to be screaming at the TV.
We need live camera on you.
Oh, I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be live streaming on Twitch or something, guys. I'm gonna even be doing it during practice.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe, obviously the Clash got us going and all that, but I mean, as we all know, as fun as that was, it doesn't count for anything really other than high fives and whatnot. So I cannot wait for tomorrow to finally have race cars on track for meaningful laps, getting ready for the Daytona 500, boys. I am geeked.
I wouldn't say that this race wasn't meaningful because it does get them prepared for the Daytona Road Course race that's in 2 weeks or so.
True.
Yeah, but more or less, half the field was going for the win and half the field was going for a test.
Yeah,
I think a couple of guys stood out in that Clash race, and Eric Jones was one of them. He was in the top 10 almost the entire night, so that was a good run for him.
Yeah.
His first run with Richard Petty Motorsports, so that was cool to see.
Matty D had himself a rocket. He was,
Matty D had a blade on his side panel there.
After that contact, was it with Ryan Newman that he had contact with?
He looked like a battle bot.
Dude, I'm telling you, he looks like Wingo from Cars. That's what he looked like there. And Ty Dillon, he stepped in for a 23-11 racing. He looked all right early on, and then he was closing on the door for a top 10 there at the end. So that was a respectable run for him to get the team some notes at least going into that road course coming up.
Yeah. That's all the 23 teams looking for there. Make sure everything's bolted together properly and everything's working and everything for the first time out. So I guess, like you said, then he gives them some notes and stuff. So whatever they did is I figured the 23 team would be a plus. And then going to the 43, really good to see Eric Jones have a pretty good debut with the 43. Bubba had that car in the top 10 at the road course last year before he got taken out. So it looked like they picked up right where they left off. So that's really promising to see. So hopefully Eric's going to do a little better than people expect, because I actually do like Eric Jones a lot. So hopefully this would be a nice chance for him to kind of rebound here.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And a beautiful car that he drove too tonight. Yes. That Petty blue. Ooh, I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So before we get into everything, make sure to check out our merchandise on Spreadshirt.com. We got hats, shirts, stickers. We got backpacks. Make sure to check that all out on Spreadshirt.com. We got the link below, and there's even a coupon code that you can use when you enter it into the website. All right, guys. So, the Clash was wild. We had Rowdy Busch taking the checkered flag after Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney tangled up there at the end. And it looked like Ryan Blaney was just kind of giving it everything that he had at the end because he knew that Chase Elliott was charging into those corners.
Yeah, I mean, you had to know Chase didn't have much left as far as equipment. He didn't have any tires left. So it was just going to be a last second kind of give it what you got. And Ryan even said in an interview after the race, he goes, if I was in that same situation, they asked him, would you do the same? He goes, hell yeah, why not? So
yeah, why wouldn't you?
I'm not, for all those conspiracy theorists out there, I'm not looking for this to be the new budding rivalry in NASCAR. These are two good buddies. They're going to have a beer tonight and laugh it off and get ready for qualifying and practice tomorrow. So
if they were smart, they would make it into a rivalry, more merchandise money.
Well, those two being buds, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
But if this was on the last lap of the Daytona 500 and Chase Elliott did that, then I could see Ryan Blaney being a little bit more pissed because, it just seems like when Ryan Blaney gets himself in the lead, something goes wrong. It even looked like it on the last lap. It looked like Blaney had a problem there on the last lap, especially once he took the lead. I think Clint Boyer said it. He did not look as good getting down into the corners in the infield portion of the course. And then kind of same thing on the back straightaway. It just seems like something was off there. But all in all, that was fun, hard racing right there. I don't knock either of them, especially Chase Elliott. He went for it. This is an exhibition race. No points, no nothing. This is just for all the bragging rights. Sucks either of them couldn't get it done, but that was still entertaining.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then, Blaney at the start of the race, he kind of overshot those turns a little bit. We had a lot of guys overshooting those turns. Blaney, Kurt Busch, he even hit part of the wall there a little bit. And Cole Custer had some problems. His car caught on fire. What was it, the brake line issue that he had?
think so.
Yeah, I think brake line, or some people might even hypothesize electrical, but I think they diagnose it as brake line.
Yeah. And then Martin Truex Jr. spun and hit the wall all by himself after getting into the dirt that got all over the backstretch chicane that they had there. And he was looking really, really fast in this race.
He was the best car.
Yeah.
And he just got into that dirt and it ended his night. So I wonder if NASCAR, because we did have the Rolex 24 at Daytona just a couple weeks ago, and they got through there fine. But I think for NASCAR, with these cars being heavier, I think they need to add a little bit more curbing there when they come back so cars aren't hitting the dirt. But it's funny how they're complaining about the dirt, and yet we're going to go run on Bristol. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's going to be great.
Yeah.
Can't wait. And Kevin Harvick, he had a lot of issues tonight, just spinning all over the goddamn place. He didn't know what the hell was going on. I think he ended up finishing like 17th or something. But
safe to say, Happy Harv was not so happy tonight. I don't think he likes the Daytona road course. He had problems.
Last year sucked, man. He got turned like 3 times at the Daytona road course, and then today it was like 3 times he got spun. No, Harvick and road courses are just not really good buddies. Sonoma 2017, I don't know how that worked out with him, but yeah, Harvick and road courses don't go well together at all. But anyway, congrats to Kyle Busch. You know, getting that first win of the season may not count for points, but it does give you a little bit of ego boost. So, you know, maybe this will change everything that's going on with Rowdy, and who knows, maybe this crew chief change could give him a little bit of boost.
Well, and that's exactly what it is. You know, doesn't count for points, but it gets them a little momentum, gets them a little confidence. You know, new crew chief coming in, win percent is now 100% for old Ben there, so that's good to see. So yeah, we'll see what happens going into the season, but they're definitely riding a little bit more momentum than everybody else at this point. So,
absolutely.
Yep. All right, guys. So now let's preview the Daytona 500. First question: do you guys think that Denny Hamlin can go for 3 in a row? No one has ever done it before.
I do.
You do?
I'll let Mike go first.
All right. Well, my answer was going to be, can he? Yeah, I mean, he's one of, if not the very best plate racer, super speedway racer, what have you, in NASCAR. Will he? Who knows? I mean, you guys know how big a crapshoots these things can be. All you can really do is, you know, keep yourself clean, give yourself a chance to be in position with the last handful of laps, and try to make something happen. He's the best at doing that. So, will he get caught up in something before anything happens? Will he be there at the end? I mean, it's just so hard to say. My gut's going to tell me no, we're going to have a new winner come Sunday.
I mean, for me, it's like I would like to see a new winner, but then again, I have Denny Hamlin in our little bets here, so he may be some good dough last year. But the thing about Denny Hamlin is at these super speedway races, we've seen it time and time again. He just puts himself in the right places at the right time. He likes to stay out front. He doesn't like to hang out in the back like some of these guys do. He just likes to stay out front, and it's worked for him. Now, like Mike said, can he do it? Oh, absolutely he can do it. But will he do it? I don't know. But I expect the 11 and the 12 to be the cars of the field in the 500 on Sunday. I expect both of those guys to be running up front, and I think it's going to come down to those two really once we get there to the end.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about Denny Hamlin being the class of the super speedway field for a long time now. And yeah, even Ryan Blaney has stepped up, you know, getting 2 Talladega wins from, you know, the fall race in 2019 and spring race from last year. And then Denny Hamlin got the fall race in Talladega last year too. So yeah, definitely got to look out for these two for the Daytona 500, because they were leading it last year before the big wreck that happened. So definitely going to be an exciting one. And yeah, I think we're going to get a new winner. I don't think Denny's going to get that 3rd in a row.
Well, how historic would that be if he did? Like, this is the Daytona 500 at one of the hardest races. Like, we have champions and we have such great drivers, Hall of Fame drivers, who have never won the Daytona 500. And now Hamlin's going to go for 3 in a row. Mm-hmm. That would be what, 4 out of the last 5, 2 or something like that? 4 out of the last 6.
Yeah.
Because he won it in
2016,
2019, and 2020. So That's just unbelievable.
That's just absolute dominance.
Some drivers go their entire career without winning the Daytona 500, and here's Hamlin going for number 4, and that would be 3 in a row.
Yeah,
he's going to be entertaining to watch on Sunday.
And not just some drivers, championship drivers, all-time great drivers have gone their career without winning the Daytona 500.
Yeah, so, I mean, look at Tony Stewart. He's never won a Daytona 500 before. He's won the summer races, he's won the duels, but never the 500. And another thing no one has ever won for Daytona Speed Weeks is winning the Clash, the duels, and the 500. No one has ever accomplished that feat before.
The only one who's come close has been Denny. Denny in
Junior
2014, when Dale Jr. won the Daytona 500. Denny won he won his duel race. He won the Bud Shootout that year, and he came in second in that Daytona 500 in 2014. So Denny's gonna be one to watch for sure on Sunday.
Yeah, 2003 for Dale Jr. He won the shootout, he won the duel, and then he came up short in the Daytona 500. So would be pretty cool to see someone do that. Now I don't want to see Kyle Busch do that this year, so maybe we'll have to wait for next season for that. All right, guys. So who do you got going for the pole for the Daytona 500? Who's starting on the front row?
So the pole position last couple of years has been dominated by Hendrick Motorsports. I think you're going to see that continue. We saw the strides that Chevy made with the body last year. And I think that you're going to see, obviously we're coming back with the same package, the same cars for the most part. I don't think too many teams made huge changes with their chassis or with the body of the car, knowing we're going to a whole new thing in 2022. So with that being said, I think it'll be Chevy. I think it'll be Hendrick Motorsports. And I think it's going to be Chase Elliott taking the pole.
All right.
So for me, I kind of have to agree with Mike there. We see it year after year, Hendrick Motorsports. They showed up in Daytona and they just dominate qualifying. This year, I think what better way to try and save your career here for Mr. Kyle Larson than to sit on the pole for the Great American Race. What a start that would be for a comeback. So I'm going to go with a 5-car of Kyle Larson taking the pole here at Daytona. And then Alex Bowman is a pretty good qualifier here too. He has a couple Daytona 500 poles. So I think Alex Bowman's going to start second. All Hendrick front row.
Good pick.
Okay. Not bad. Yeah, I'm going to kind of agree with you guys. I'm going to stay with the Chevy camp, but I'm going to go with a driver in RCR. I'm going to go with Mr. Tyler Reddick. I think he's going to get the pole. I know Nick doesn't want to hear that at all.
Hurts my heart.
But we've seen RCR. They've been kind of changing it up a little bit the past year or so, and their super speedway packet, their just team has been looking really, really good. So I think it'll be Tyler Reddick on the pole, and then obviously another Chevy driver on the front row. I'll go Alex Bowman.
All right,
solid.
All right.
And then who you guys got to win the duels? Duel 1, Duel 2? I mean, obviously we don't have the lineup yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible, but I really do think that's where the Penske cars come to play, is in the duel. So I can easily see a Brad Keselowski or a Ryan Blaney winning a duel, and Denny Hamlin's good in the duels as well. So
yeah,
I look for one of those 3 guys to win the duels. Just depends on which ones they're in.
No, exactly. Yeah. I didn't even realize we didn't even get the lineup yet. There hasn't even been qualifying. I'm just getting so excited, boys. Cars are finally back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Nick, though. I think Penske more so sets their cars up to handle better than they do for the raw straight line speed at the super speedway races. So like Nick said, I think that's where you see the Penske cars kind of come to life, and Ford as a whole for that matter. I think, there's with the Fords kind of dominating the field, they're going to have more to work with. So I bet you it'd be Ryan Blaney and somebody else winning the duels. We don't know who's going to be able to pick them out of the hat. I'm going to go Penske sweep.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney in 1, and then whichever one of Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski isn't in the same duel as him winning the other.
Okay. Yeah, I'm staying with you guys again. I'm going to be going into the Ford camp, but I do think it's going to be I do think Kevin Harvick, he's going to nab another duel win. He got one in 2019 when he had that car to can car that he had running. That was pretty cool. And Yeah, I'm gonna go with a Penske driver. I'll probably say Ryan Blaney too. I think he'll, if they're in separate ones, but yeah, Harvick, Blaney, if they're in separate races.
Yeah, I think Blaney's a strong pick all the way across the board. I mean, if Denny Hamlin's the number one super speedway racer in NASCAR, he's 1A.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right there. He just doesn't always have the results to show as well. I mean, again, you look at last year's Daytona 500, he could have easily won that. You know,
He came
all
within
things
centimeters of winning that Daytona 500.
exactly. And I've watched that video 12 million times back now, and I still have no idea how Ryan Newman's race car didn't hit Denny.
I know, it's absolutely. It's like he just
Like
levitated
defies
over
physics.
Yeah, it's like he just had a force field around Denny's car, and it's like, nope, just gonna go right over here and then hit Corey's car.
Yep.
But yeah, and then just the speed that Denny had, like right there at that final stretch to get to the finish line. Yeah.
Going down the backstretch, Newman and Blaney powered past, and here comes Hamlin coming out of turn 4. It's like, where did he come from? I thought Denny Hamlin was done right there. You just can't count him out.
Exactly. All right, guys. So going into the weekend, we're going to be starting off with the Truck Series race. What are your predictions? Who do you think's going to nab the checkered flag at the end of the night?
You know, being our resident Truck Series expert, if that's what you want to call it, this is the most unpredictable race of the year every year. There's a zillion and one wrecks. I mean, you don't even know who's going to be left at this point. Jordan Anderson ended up almost winning the race last year, if you guys remember. It was absolutely insane. But my prediction, something I talked about in our 2021 season preview show, John Hunter Nemechek has to come down here and has to have a great year if he wants to get back to the Cup Series in a competitive ride. I'm going to predict that he gets the ball rolling the first race of the year and takes that thing to victory lane.
All right. Nick?
It's the Truck Series and it's Daytona. A couple years ago when Austin Hill won, there was 6 cars left on the racetrack or something like that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be total chaos. But in the end, we also talked about this in the preview show a couple weeks ago. I'm going with a guy like Zane Smith. I think this win that he's going to get here at Daytona, that's just going to lift him throughout this season, and that kid's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm going with Zane Smith to win it.
All right. Not a bad pick there at all. I'm going to go Mr. Grant Enfinger. I think he's going to go for 2 in a row at Daytona. He always looks really, really fast at the super speedways, so definitely got to look out for that 98 truck, which I just learned that he's actually not going to be running full time this year.
Nope.
That's right.
With Christian Eckes.
Yeah. So ThorSport is pretty notorious for, playing things pretty tight to the vest. Nothing really gets officially released until they want it to. So, like I said in the 2021 season preview show, we knew they were going with Toyota. They just didn't say anything. It finally comes out now that it's, race weekend. And the Eckes stuff had been rumored. I didn't believe it considering the relationship between Ben and Christian, but they're going to have to put all that behind them now and be teammates. So
I just love this response. They're like, how does it feel to be teammates with him? He's like, oh, how the turntables have.
That sucks for Grant Enfinger, though. I mean,
does.
He was a couple laps. He almost won the championship last year. I mean, he was ThorSport's best driver last year, and it sucks to see that happen. But we know what the sport comes down to. It came down to money and it came down to funding, and apparently Grant Enfinger did not have that. Really sucks to see, but gives Eckes an opportunity after getting dumped by KBM.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So now let's get into the Xfinity Series. Nick, let's start off since you are our resident Xfinity Series man.
Oh, my heart says the 18 car, but my mind says Kaulig Racing. We've seen it the past couple of years now. Kaulig Racing shows up at the super speedway races and they just go out and they dominate. So that being said, you either get the 11 of Haley, the 10 of Burton, or a 16 of AJ Allmendinger, and that's my pick right there. Is the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. I
like it.
AJ, last time we were down in Daytona, he got wrecked by teammate Justin Haley on the last lap. No bad blood there. They're boys, but AJ Allmendinger, this is going to be a good start to the Xfinity season for him. Like I said, I think he's going to have a really good year, and what better way to kick it off than winning at Daytona?
Absolutely. All right, Mike.
All right, so I'm going to go with Harrison Burton to get the win to start the year off. I really think this is going to be a pretty big breakout year for him. I think he's going to be a championship contender all year long, and kind of like the John Hunter Nemechek prediction I made for the trucks. I think he just gets that party started. Race weekend, one of the year. So I'm looking for Harry Burton to get it done.
All right. And I'm going to go with my boy.
We wonder.
Come on now, guys. I got to go with my boy, Noah Gragson. He's going for 2 Daytona wins in a row in the spring. Kicked off the season just right last year with that amazing win. Celebrated just right. I want him to do an even better celebration this year when he gets that win. So, yeah, come on, guys. I'm going for NG9.
For the record, I almost picked him just to be a dick.
I would have picked him either way. All right, guys. So now let's get into the Daytona 500, the big one of the weekend. Now I'm going to pick first since you boys picked. I got to go. I think this would be the most amazing win ever. I got to go with Bubba Wallace to get the Daytona 500 win. I think that would just be the best win ever. I think that would just be huge for NASCAR to get, Bubba Wallace, the guy who's been through so much the past year. Now he's driving for Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan with 23XI Racing. It would just be the most perfect story to see Bubba Wallace get that checkered flag and host up the Daytona 500 trophy at the end of the night.
Yeah, that would be a pretty incredible scene considering, like you said, the last year or so. Be a pretty big thing too for a brand new team. So that would be great to see. Guys, if we know that Ian's going with Noah Gragson, you know who I'm picking. I'm going with the guy who you feel like a Daytona 500 is inevitable the way it's gone from a Daytona the last couple of years. Came pretty close with the Wood brothers a while back. Insanely close last year. Pretty close the year before that as well. I'm going with the 12, Ryan Blaney. Finally gets the monkey off his back, lifts the trophy, and finally gets his first Daytona 500.
Yeah, that's a fair pick right there. I mean, he's one of the best. And like for Ian's pick with Bubba Wallace, yeah, that would be huge. But for my pick, you know what they say at Daytona, anybody can win, but we haven't really seen that. That doesn't really happen. When it comes down to crunch time, the good guys are going to be up front. Like we haven't seen a wild winner at Daytona in quite some time. I think, remember when, who was it? David Reagan, 2013, won at Talladega. That's really the last time we saw a real underdog win at a super speedway in the Cup Series.
I'd say maybe Austin Dillon.
Yeah, Austin Dillon. He's a pretty good plate racer though.
Yeah,
with a pretty big name team, but I got to stick with it with the top gun at Daytona right now and the top gun of the super speedway races. That 11 car, I think he's really going to do it. I think he's got a shot. I'm going with Denny Hamlin to win his 3rd Daytona 500 in a row, and he's going to win his 4th, and he's going to join some prestige names up there, some Hall of Famers and champions up there. He's got 3 wins here, 10 top 5s, 11 top 10s. But throw that out the window. When it comes down to 10 laps to go, Denny Hamlin's going to put himself in a position to win a Daytona 500, and I think that 11 car is going to get it done.
Yeah, when it comes down to crunch time,
money, you ain't got nobody fooled.
I'm not gonna wear my FedEx Racing hat though because he's been cursed ever since.
But yeah, definitely Denny, one of the best to run at super speedways. So yeah, I definitely think that he's going to be the biggest threat on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, if he gets caught up in a wreck or something, like it's still Daytona, something could happen to him. I think that opens the door up for like a new winner in Daytona, like a Ryan Blaney or something like that. If Hamlin gets taken out in the first 5 laps of the race, how crazy would that be? That just opens up opportunities for other drivers. It'll be interesting to see. Hope that doesn't happen though, because then I'll be out some money to start the season.
Yeah, and I just got to give honorable mention. I guess I got to also go for my boy Noah Gragson, since he also is entered in for the 500. He's got to qualify his way in, but hey, anything's possible. It is the Daytona 500.
Hey, you know what I would also love? This is 10 years since the Wood Brothers last won a Daytona 500. Let's run it back with Matty D here. Matty D, Daytona 500. You guys wouldn't. I would be asleep for like 3 days after for all the partying we're gonna do.
Oh, I believe
excited
it.
though.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too. I'm excited to finally get practice qualifying back tomorrow. We got the duels, and then head straight into the weekend and just see the madness from the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, and then just the so historic Daytona 500. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Going to kick off to one incredible season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's here, guys. The off season is over. We got meaningful racing coming up now. Cannot wait to get it going. Cannot wait to see who gets a checkered flag Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. Get this 2021 season going. It's gonna be a blast.
Absolutely.
I'm super pumped. Like NASCAR and Fox, they're promoting it to be the best season ever. I hope they're right, because this is the last year of the Gen 6s here before we get into the next Gen cars starting in 2022. So let's send these guys out with a bang.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining the Stock Car Spectacle. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Me, Nick, and Mike are on there, along with the Stock Car Spectacle accounts. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on all podcast platforms. Again, make sure to check out our merch on Spreadshirt.com. And make sure to check out Kodo's Mojo. All right, guys. So for the Stock Car Spectacle, I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinsel. Go Mountaineers.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy the Daytona 500.